Hey, welcome back to AutoCAD tutorial session 3. My name is Jonathan, and right now we're going to try something what I call the offset press pull method. I don't think there's someone out there who really calls it this way, but I'm going to call it this way. So it says here we're going to be making, basically we're going to be modeling steel HSS or hollow structural shapes, which like I said is fancy for tubes. So this is our SAT model. If you look um, relatively closely, it sort of tells you different material properties. We have a 1 square 065, we have 0.5 round 049, and we have 0.25 solid. This should be 0.25 solid round actually. So that tells us what our materials are going to be. So I kept it relatively simple. Um, when you're thinking about bridge team, I always think about what kind of materials you're using, because when you 3D model it, or if you're going to make it in real life, it's a little different than what you would have thought it would have been. Alright, so let's go ahead. Using this, we only have 3 materials, but let's go ahead and start with the 1 square 065. So we're going to go to the layers, and we're going to go click on 1 square, and that'll set it to the current layer. As you can see here, that's the current layer. So we're going to go ahead, let's go draw a rectangle. So it has to be a rectangle with equal dimensions, or it's just going to be a square, in other words. So we're going to click, dimension, 1, enter, 1, enter, and click, and bang, we got ourselves a nice looking square. So now we're going to try something called offset. So what offset does really is it makes a copy of the same thing, kind of, but it spaces it out a distance away. So it's perfect if we wanted to. We know the outside dimensions and we know the thickness. All we just need is the thickness to get our inside dimensions. So we're going to go select it, type offset, and we're going to type 0.065, press enter. I can go in the outside or inside depending on where my mouse is, but since we need it on the inside because that's the wall thickness and what we're given is already the outer wall thickness, then it should be the inside. So I'm going to click, and you see it keeps going. I mean, I could click again and still keep going, but we're going to stop right there because that's all we need for now. And now we're going to try something called Presspull. So I'm going to make a copy of this just to show everyone. If I use extrude, right, I don't know if you guys remember this, it makes a solid object, but it only takes the outer one. If I use something called Presspull, type press, and I hover it over here, it'll pull out the tube basically. Whatever the area is in between two closed shapes, it'll pull it out, unlike extrude, which can only do it, well, for that, a fully solid one. Presspull, though, can also modify existing solids, which is nice. So Presspull is really awesome, actually, just FYI. So we need a certain height, and I know that I'm going to add this to the leg. So that's how I'm going to start this off. And the leg is indeed 36. If I double click, it tells me the length is 36. So there's 2 ways I can do this. I can go over there, I can type Presspull or press, make sure the 2 solid lines glow. I can type 36, and bang, it makes me a 36-inch tall tube. I can also, since it's on the XY plane, I can pull it and I can click on something for it to reference, and it's the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to move my leg to where it belongs. So I'm going to zoom in on this, make a line diagonally because I need it center to center, and unlike a circle, this doesn't have a center line. So I'm going to move, use a midpoint snap, click on that, and bang, it's in the midpoint, which is perfect. That's exactly what we need. We can delete this line now. And since I know my pair of legs should be the same, we should probably make a copy. Go ahead and make a copy, not a cone, although cones are cool. Use this as my base point and snap to that endpoint. Bang. Got ourselves a pair of legs. So now is, well, how do we do this? This part is a little tricky actually. How do we make, how do we press pull something diagonal? We were able to go X, Y, Z. What you can do really is you can go and manipulate your X, Y, Z coordinate system. So your, let's see, your Y would be there, and then your Z would be like up or something. So we have that, and then you're going to draw a rectangle or something. And you could do that, or you can have the Z go along, so then you can just draw a rectangle on that, and then, and you can do, you can extrude like this. You can press pull like that, and it'll give you the correct angle. It's just a little cumbersome in my opinion, so we're not going to do that actually. We're going to do something I find a little bit more efficient in my opinion. But that's going to be in the next part. That's going to be called the sweep shell method. So I'll see you then.